Okay, so still on the subject of sort of semantics and definitions, one of the things that I wanted to ask you about was this slide. I know you've used this in a few of your presentations and in your course around the commonly accepted models for analytics: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. Maybe it's just me, but I'm always confused by these things. And I would love to get your take on, is this a valid model, and where does this fit in with AI?
Yeah, certainly my feeling is that everyone's confused by this, even the people that actually write those diagrams. And I think they're used more by consultants to sound clever to prospective clients. I think they would all struggle to describe exactly what those things are. And I've seen variously them described differently for different stages. And I've seen the stages in different orders. That really leads me to believe that I'm not sure this is entirely valid. But having said that, I've used it because I like to use things that are commonly understood. I don't have to show everything that's invented by me. But more recently, in fact, just in this past couple of weeks, I've really been able to fit that model into my model of what artificial intelligence is. And one of the key parts is, and again, this is maybe that I've just discovered myself the underlying genius of that slide, or maybe it's just by pure coincidence it happens to fit with my model. I'm not sure which one, but I look at artificial intelligence as being this cycle that simulates the human behavior of looking at the world, trying to figure out trying to understand the world. What is the world right now? Then looking at why did it get that way? And then looking at, okay, what it is and how it got why it is. What should I do next? And then the next question is, given I've decided what I want to do next, how do I do that? And then I take that action, the world changes, and I go through that cycle again. Now, it just happens that, and maybe it didn't just happen, that was the idea, is that descriptive analytics really talks about what is the world right now. The next one, which is diagnostic analytics, I'm not sure if that was on the one you showed, but I've seen that before. Diagnostic
It was, yeah, that's the second one.
Really is looking at diagnosing something, which is asking the question, why did it get to the state it's got? Because you want to understand, you don't just want to look blindly at the world and decide what you want to do next, but you want to try and understand how did it get, what happened that brought it to the state it's in right now. And that's diagnostic analytics. Then the next one is predictive analytics, which makes you look forward and say, okay, given where we are right now, what might happen going forward? And given all those options, which one should I choose? Which one should I go for that works out best for me? Then prescriptive analytics is saying, okay, how do you do that? How do you affect that change? And that becomes our how question for how do we act? Once we've decided what we're going to do, how do we affect that change? And that really maps nicely into prescriptive analytics. So that whole model now does fit really nicely with my model of how the world works and how artificial intelligence works. So happy coincidence, or maybe I was just slow on the uptake and I finally understood what that diagram means, and the rest of the analytics industry has understood that for 20 years. I'm not sure which one. I'd like to think the former.